Bueno, muy buenos días a todas las personas que se empiezan a unir a nuestra sesión informativa del día de hoy, 20 de agosto del 2025. Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Karen Martínez, parte del equipo de Relaciones Internacionales y Consejería Académica en Colfuturo. Y el día de hoy estamos con Warwick University. Estoy muy bien acompañada en esta ocasión con Rachel Bannister. Ella es representante de la universidad y nos va a hablar de temas supremamente importantes relacionados con oferta académica, opciones de financiación, hospedaje y todos los temas que ella desde su experiencia y su experticia, por supuesto, considere oportunos y pertinentes para todas las personas que están empezando a planear un posgrado en el exterior, particularmente en este país y en esta universidad. Quiero recordarles que este es el lugar ideal para que puedan dar solución a sus inquietudes y preguntas al respecto. Por favor, no duden en dejarnos cualquier comentario a través del cajón de Q&A, que con muchísimo gusto Rachel y yo lo vamos a resolver a lo largo de la sesión. Y adicionalmente, si aún no tienen total claridad sobre el funcionamiento del programa Crédito Beca, los queremos invitar a nuestras charlas informativas al respecto el primer viernes y segundo sábado de cada mes. Pues bien, como ustedes sabrán, todos estos webinars informativos que estamos realizando en este segundo semestre los hacemos en el marco de nuestra línea de convenios internacionales, particularmente con la Universidad de Warwick. Tenemos tres establecimientos en este convenio. El primero es que el Warwick Manufacturing Group y la Warwick Business School van a ofrecer becas por un valor del 50% en la matrícula a todos los beneficiarios de Colfuturo que cursen estudios de máster a tiempo completo en esos dos departamentos en particular. La Universidad de Warwick además va a ofrecer una beca por valor del 20% de las tasas de matrícula a los beneficiarios de Colfuturo que cursen maestrías en otro departamento y también ofrecerán una beca del 20% a todos aquellos beneficiarios que deseen realizar doctorados. Entonces, sin duda alguna, son increíbles beneficios que nos está ofreciendo esta institución académica. La invitación nuevamente es que saquemos el mayor provecho de la participación de Rachel en este espacio y le hagamos todas las preguntas que nos puedan surgir en el transcurso del tiempo. Entonces, sin mayor preámbulo, Rachel, thank you so much for being here today with us. We are so happy to have you here. You can go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Karen. Hi, everybody. It's really nice to be here and chatting to you all interested in studying both with us here at Warwick and also looking at the opportunities to fund that studies with Corfuturo. We have a long-standing partnership with Corfuturo in Colombia and who have funded many Colombian students to the University of Warwick, including those who are joining us this year. They are all amazing students and we all have a fantastic time. So if you do want to have any connections to our alumni network within Colombia, then please do let us know and let me know kind of via my email address and I'll be happy to make those connections for you. As mentioned, I'm Rachel. I am the Officer for the Americas region here at the University of Warwick and I am the main point of contact for students who are interested in studying with us here at the University of Warwick, whether that is for September 26 or maybe slightly beyond if you're looking for early research, that's absolutely no problem. But yes, you can reach out to me at any point during your application stage. So it can be this week, it could be next month, the month after. I've had students write to me when they've looked back at the website and the webinar viewing and watched the recording. So please do feel free to reach out at any time and I'll be more than happy to help answer some of your questions. So today I'm just going to go through an introduction to the University of Warwick, who we are, where we are, what we offer, a little bit about the campus life for our postgraduate community at the university, and a little bit about the applicant journey and in terms of the scholarships that are available here at the university, both in terms of the funding with Corfuturo, but also the scholarships available within some of our academic departments themselves as well. So hopefully this will answer most of your questions, but if you do have any questions as we go through, then please do feel free to put them in the chat box and I will be leaving some time at the end of the session to go through some of those. So yes, please do reach out with those questions and be happy to cover those for you once we get to the end. So the University of Warwick is a campus university established in 1965 here in the UK. And that does mean and kind of reflect that we are celebrating our 60th birthday here this year, something that we're very excited by. We've got lots of exciting plans for the autumn term here. So from October through to December, there'll be lots of activities planned throughout the term for our students to get involved in, but also for us to celebrate our excellence and how far we've come but also where we would like to go towards in the future. Now, because we are quite a young university in UK terms, there are lots of universities that are hundreds of years older than us, and some maybe just 100 years older. But we are a young university in comparative terms here in the UK. But despite that, we have come a very long way in that short period of time. Even since 1965, we've always strived to achieve more with what we can offer our students. And that's not just more in terms of the offering, but it's more in terms of how we challenge our students and how we can encourage them to be better and grow within themselves, but also within the subject areas that they are studying, and as professionals and academics within that subject expert area, and help develop that knowledge ready for career focused work once they have graduated, and so that they are ready to go into that particular sector once they have completed their programme with us. Even though we are only 60, we are already challenging other UK universities that are much, much older than us, and that is something that we thrive upon and have accepted the challenge to date. And it's something that we will continue to do as we move forward into the next 60 years and beyond on our campus here at the University of Warwick. Now, hopefully some of you will have heard of us, but if you haven't, then we are a UK top 10 university and we are a world top 100 university ranked by QS. We have been consistently in those rankings. So we are consistently UK top 10 and we are currently in the top 75 with QS. So that has been something that we've maintained over a number of years, and we know is something that is really important to our students when they are looking at their options when considering where to take their postgraduate studies, certainly in the UK, but also kind of more globally for that as well. What we do also have is we are ranked gold for student experience outcomes and overall general rankings for gold for the teaching education framework, which is another set of numbers in the UK that universities reference and kind of recognise themselves against. But we do also have a really good research focused background. So we are a member of the UK's Russell Group universities, and that is a group of universities that are research focused and research intensive. And certainly here at Warwick, the research that we carry out runs through everything that we teach and offer here at the university. So students who are joining their first year of their undergraduate degree may not be aware that research is something that they would like to do, but the teaching that we offer and the academics that we have who are leading in their fields and sometimes are world leading in their fields, that their research runs through their teaching, and some of that experience that they have and that we can offer our students really is at the heart of everything that we teach. We are currently working with some really fantastic kind of different development areas in lots of different fields. I learned recently that we do have some research being conducted in our sociology department alongside Man United Football Club. We have some areas in the development of artificial intelligence with Warwick Manufacturing Group. We do have some also as well with sustainability with our Global Sustainability Development Department, and lots more. We're world leading in polymer chemistry at the University of Warwick, and engineering certain areas. Our Warwick Business School is world leading in addition to the medical school and economics. So I think the rankings are useful in the sense that it's not just the university itself that is highly ranked. A lot of our academic departments are equally highly ranked as well, and world recognized, world renowned, and kind of internationally known for their excellence. So it's not just a world-class university, but it is a world-class academic department very often that you will be joining here at the University of Warwick, and something that we do look forward to welcoming our students to as well. Now, for those students who are here who may not quite be aware of where Warwick is, so Warwick is a place in the UK. It has a very ancient castle that has knights jousting tournaments and things like that all through the summer. Very popular here in the UK. But the University of Warwick itself is in the city of Coventry, and we are on the edge of the city. So we are in a suburb of Coventry, but we are very fortunate that we sit right on the boundary of the city, but also the county of Warwickshire, which is countryside. So Our campus is suburban, but also rural. We are very fortunate. We are a full encompassing campus here at Warwick, which means all of the facilities are all in one place. So if you would like to live on campus, you can have that option. We have our sports hub, which is on our campus. We have an arts centre, which I will come into detail for, but all of the teaching facilities and everything that you really need for your university experience in the UK is on our campus. And that's something that our students love. And it's also the community that they love to join as well. And that is something that our students really do talk about in detail. It's the student community feeling that they have at the University of Warwick. It's not just joining a course or joining an accommodation block or anything like that. It is a diverse community of like-minded students from across the world that they are joining, and that they are really looking forward to having that experience to be part of here at Warwick. My favourite thing about our location isn't just the green spaces or the kind of open spaces that we have at the university. It is also the location that we're in. Now, Coventry is right in the centre of England, and England forming the larger part of the wider UK nation. But because we're in the middle of England, what that means is that it doesn't take very long to get anywhere else. We are really well connected by bus into the city centre and the local community, but also by rail. So it's 15 minutes into Coventry by bus. And then once you're there, it can be, it's 1 hour by train to central London. It's just under 1 hour to Oxford. It's 20 minutes to Birmingham, which is the UK's second city. You can reach Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Bristol, Exeter, Cambridge, all by train from Coventry, or really easily reachable from our city. So it's not just the experience that you get by being at Warwick, it's also enjoying that wider UK experience because of our location and the benefits of being where we're located, and some of the opportunities that you can take by being where you are to explore the wider UK, if that is something of interest to you. But in addition to that, it is worth mentioning as well, our closest airport is Birmingham International, which is around 15 minutes by train from Coventry to Birmingham. And that allows you access to continental Europe. And I have spoken to lots of students and even our postgraduate students who have really made the most of that opportunity. And I've spoken to them in May time, and they've come to me and they've said, oh, well, I went to Spain for the Easter break, or I've been to Amsterdam, they've been to Germany, they've been to Prague. They have explored lots of continental Europe because we have such great opportunities to do that with really cheap flights from Birmingham. So it's not just the UK, but it is also the wider continent that you can explore and experience as well at the university. Now, we are a medium-sized university and campus here in the UK. We have just over 28,000 students who are from 145 different nationalities. Now, it is just over 1/4 of our students that are international. So we are very diverse in our population, and that is something that we are very proud of, and that our students really thrive on when they are with us at the university. It's, as I said already, it's the opportunity to learn from like-minded students across the world, and you get to benefit from hearing their experiences and expertise in different fields, offering perspectives that you may not have thought of or have been aware of previously in those different areas that you'd like to study. So you will definitely have that opportunity at the University of Warwick, and have those connections that aren't just with you on campus, but they will be with you for life. Because that, of course, does also extend into our alumni community as well. And so you'll never be too far away from a University of Warwick graduate when you'll find yourself on your travels after graduation. And I can personally confirm this when I've been in different cities and people see me with my brochures, and they mention somebody they know or their children who are currently at Warwick and they're on holiday somewhere else. And yeah, you're never too far away from the Warwick family. So lots of people that you can connect with and stay in connect with once you've graduated. Now, one of the things that we know is important to our students at postgrad level is the academic life and balance that you have at the university. All our master's programs are 12 months in length. And so that it might be slightly different to what you were either expecting or are used to. We know that certainly in North America that master's programs typically last for 2 years, and potentially for some programs across Europe and other areas as well, that is also the case. Here in the UK, it is only 12 months. So it does mean that you're ready for that kind of next step in your career much earlier. But it is a very intense academic year because it does fit into that 12-month period. Um, Fees are cheaper because it's only 12 months. Your accommodation is cheaper because it's only 12 months. But what it does mean is there are no, or there are very few placement opportunities available because of the nature of the program. Not all of our courses do have a placement option, but some of them do. So it is worth having a look at some of those opportunities where you can. You are led by the leading experts in their field here at the university. I mentioned briefly just a moment ago, but we really do have some of the best academics here at the university, and you may already be aware of them in your particular field, certainly in sociology, in politics and international studies. For students who are looking to study in some of those social sciences, then we have the best of the best. And it might be that you've read an article or a book from which they published. It's similar, as I said, in chemistry. There's another good example in physics. Lots and lots of people who do lead the way, both in terms of their academic field, but also sometimes they offer guidance to the UK government in terms of where certain things should lie. That certainly was the case during the COVID pandemic. Our medical school academics were part of that wider network of kind of colleagues who were helping guide the government on next steps and protocol for COVID. So that's something that we are very used to here at the university. You will be learning from the best and have the opportunity to work alongside them, but also potentially take part in some of their research as well. So if that is something that you're interested in, then you can also do that as well across a wide range of subjects here at Warwick. One of the things in addition to academic life is the academic spaces that we know is really important to our students. We want them to be bright, we want them to be inspiring and also engaging for our students. We are constantly developing our spaces here on campus. So you will see here in our top left, that is Warwick Business School. That is the reception foyer there, very bright building. On our right hand side, we have the Interdisciplinary Biomedical Research Building, or the IBRB, which is where our life sciences and the medical school are based. But lots of our classrooms are similar to those that you can see both on the left-hand side and also the practical laboratories that you can see on the right here. It is a very diverse mix of different courses, different opportunities at the university. But having the space to be able to create and think collaboratively with your colleagues, with your peers, and friends from your courses, or even friends that are on different course that you've made, having that opportunity to study in open spaces that isn't maybe the library because you work better in a group or you've got project work you need to work on. We actively have worked to provide that for our students, and that is something that they really benefit from. And I think one of the other key things that we do have that's really important is our space called the Junction, and that is dedicated area for postgraduate students. So it is accessible just with your student card. So it is just postgrads who can go in, and it is a space for you to relax, to network with other postgrad students. You can study in there, you can network in there, you can just chill. You can do your food in there. There's locker spaces. So yeah, that is a dedicated hub for our postgraduate students that are really enjoyed by that community. Now, this is just an example of some of the facilities we have on our campus. As I said, we do have postgraduate accommodation available for those who would like to live in on-campus accommodation. You can do so. It is first come, first serve. So your application does need to be unconditional firm by the time applications open in April time. For accommodation, but we have lots of time for that. But yes, we do have that option and opportunity to live in on-campus accommodation here at Warwick. And it is just postgraduate accommodation. It's not undergraduate mixed. It's just postgraduate. We have a health centre on campus. There are laundrettes in each of the facilities and for the accommodation facilities. We have a pharmacy in case you do need any of those urgent essentials. There's bars, there's restaurants, there's coffee shops. The Warwick Arts Centre is the largest of its kind outside of London, which has an art gallery. There are 3 cinema screens, so you can go and watch a movie with friends. We have the concert hall, so there are live musical performances, musical theatre, comedians performing. All throughout the year, there's a whole range of different things that you can go and see and get involved in at the Arts Centre. We have a food market every Wednesday afternoon. There's our convenience store, which is Roots grocery store. And as I said, the beautiful green spaces that you can really make the most of while you're on campus too. So lots and lots of things for you to be able to get involved in alongside your studies. In addition to that, we do often get asked, particularly for postgrad students, what the social life is like here at the university. And you may have seen this number on an earlier slide, but we do have over 300 student-run sports clubs and societies offered through our Students' Union, and each of them is open to postgraduate students. So you don't have to be an undergrad in order to join any of these. Some of them are very casual, so there are running clubs if you would like to join running. We have culture-based societies, we have food-based, there are musical societies, there's academic-based ones as well, so it could be linked to your subject area or the department that you're based in. There's a whole range. We've got baking, there's chess, Game of Thrones, you name it. There's opportunities for you to get involved. Alongside that, we have our sport and wellness hub. And I know that for two of our students who are with us this year, when selecting their accommodation for campus, they chose the ones that were closest to the sports and wellness hub because going to the gym and keeping fit was one of their top priorities while they were studying with us as well. Our sports hub has just had a £1 million investment in the gym, so it's had a brand new gym kitted out, and it is amazing. It's got a different weight section. There are cardio. There's a cardio area. There's also toning. We have spin classes. There's a large studio where you can do Zumba. There's Pilates. There's yoga. You can book yourself into all these different classes. There's over 100 each week, so you can go as much or as little as you would like to. There are also 60 hours of free sport or physical activity sessions each week that students can log into or sign up to. So if you'd like to start something new or stay active, make friends in that particular area, then you can join these. And there are 60 hours that are free each week. So you can join these sessions and just do that by signing up at the desk. But if you know you're going to go more regularly, there is a paid membership that you can use to go as much or as little as you would like to as part of that membership in the sports hub. It has a swimming pool, there's a rock climbing wall, it has everything, and really is a really great piece of kind of addition that we have on campus for students who are interested in their fitness. We know that feeling supported is important for our international students, and so there is a large group of professionals who are here at the university to help you feel at home while you're here with us during your course. Quite often for our postgraduate students, that is a slightly smaller feeling, particularly if you've been at work for a number of years or you haven't recently graduated, then that might be something that you're less worried about. But nevertheless, there is a group still here who are able to help you. We have our international office. I am here right up the way through till enrolment for our students. And we do have some dedicated Moodle courses that are online that students can take to help students adapt to cultural differences here in the UK. That can be what time we eat food. It can be what time kind of the sun sets here in the UK. And I know that sounds very simple, but in the winter it sets much earlier. So that's how to kind of get used to that type of setting. But regardless of where you're at and how you'd like to feel, there are lots of people here who are here to support you and get you on the right path to feeling at home as quickly as you can for your course here at the University of Warwick. This is in addition to our wellbeing support services, who do offer additional counselling, and there are various different things available that you can reach out to. So if you do ever feel that you need to speak to somebody confidentially, you can absolutely do that with the team here at the university. And they will be on hand to help talk you through any of those concerns that you may have, homesickness, or just something if you need to reach out for some help. You can do that as well, and that is through our wellbeing support department as well that you can do that with. Now, this just gives an introductory summary to a postgraduate year, certainly for a master's here at the University of Warwick. A PhD is slightly different. So a PhD is typically 4 years. but can often be completed in 3. So for anybody who is looking to do a PhD, most students do it in 3, but there is an extra 12 months for write-up periods and kind of that type of extra assessment that students may need. So you can use that there. But as I said right at the beginning, a postgraduate program, typically for a master's here in the UK, is 1 year. And so that is quite an intense year of study. And so we start in early October each year. Sometimes it's the last week of September, sometimes it's the first week of October. It's around that time of year. And we do have a welcome week on campus, which is also open to our postgraduate students. So there is time for you to get used to your surroundings, get familiar with campus, your kind of habits and where you'd like to go to study or eat, or where you'd like to make friends and things like that. That's our first week. And then teaching runs through from October to May, which is typically the first 7 to 8 months here in a UK university. And then research projects, or if you do have internship opportunities or work placement opportunities on some courses, not on all, then that's normally over the summer vacation period. And that runs from May until August, typically. Dates can vary depending where Easter falls, but this is the way that it normally is divided. So 7, 8 months of teaching, and then 4 to 5 months of your research project time during that summer months. Assessments can vary by department. It is really important to be aware of that. So not every assessment will be an exam or coursework. It could be that you're asked to present a podcast as part of your assessment. Students can sometimes also be asked to deliver presentations. You can deliver a written presentation and write feedback on that. There's a whole range of different ways that we assess here at the university. And so our course information should mention what those methods of assessment are, but you can either get in touch with the department or you can ask me and I can find that out for you if you would like to know which modules have that information available. But quite often there is a mix of group and individual project work as well. So those study spaces that I mentioned, this picture is the Oculus building on campus. That has dedicated open study space. You can see it in just the background of the picture for students to carry out that project work. So there are lots of places for you to work collaboratively throughout the campus for you to be able to have those opportunities for that work where you would like to go. Now, sorry, just before I move on to employer rankings, one of the things that is worth mentioning when I mention community and I mention opportunities to network with other people here at the university. We do have a very active Latin American society here at Warwick, and that is students from across the region who get together to share their experiences and their love for all things Latin here at the university. We've just had our first year of a carnival celebration on campus, which was very exciting. And it has grown each year. There are members from across the region on our campus from there. So it's quite possible that you'll meet somebody either on the same course as you from the region or from the same city as you within the society. They love a get together. They have social events that they run throughout the year. They have there's a social football team that they have just started this year. They have language lattes where they're language classes that students can sign up to help other students learn Spanish if you would like to. We do run society socials with other societies. So during the World Cup year, of which next year is one actually, they ran a mixed society with the Polish society because one of the countries in the region was playing against Poland. I think it was Mexico. And so there was a collab where everybody got together from both societies to watch the games. Everybody brought their flags and they wore their colours. So you absolutely can do that. And that is encouraged. Bring a flag, bring a piece of home. And yes, you're encouraged to do that on campus. But there is that opportunity to network as well with the society. If anybody would like to find them, they're available. If you search Warwick Latam on Instagram, that's their most active platform. But if you have any particular detailed questions, then you can either reach out to them directly or reach out to me and I can put you in touch with them. They do have a postgraduate officer in the society, so they'll have some people that you can get in touch with as well there, just in case you want to find out what life is like on our campus with them as well. So we know that it's not just your course and your academic expertise and your interests there that are important to you. They are very important, but it's also the opportunities that you'll have once you graduate. And here at the University of Warwick, that is something that we excel in at the university across our careers team, but also across the different departments that we offer courses and programs of study in. The university itself is the sixth most targeted university by the UK's top 100 employers. And what that means essentially is that if they are looking for students that they'd like to recruit, Warwick is sixth in that list of students or graduates that they are looking to target. It's not just the skills that we teach you in your academic field or the kind of networking or the opportunities you have in the classroom or in your accommodation, although they are plenty. And lots of our students, when they graduate, I've spoken to some very recently and they've said that their year went very, very quickly, but they never dreamt of how many opportunities they'd have just by being at Warwick. We have some fantastic connections with our employers in the local area, but also nationally and sometimes internationally as well. And so some of those engagement opportunities are because you're here with us at Warwick. And so that is why we have that reputation. That's why we're 32nd in the world for that reputation. And that is why those employers continuously or continually, year after year, look for Warwick graduates because they know that it's not just the classroom-based experience that we teach you, it's how you can be successful once you've graduated. It's how to be a leader in a conference room. It's how to develop those skills that mean that you are at the forefront of those conversations and you are changing spheres in lots of those areas. As students do that, they're in the meeting rooms, they are running those conversations, and they really are doing some fantastic work in lots of different areas as a direct result of the opportunities they have at Warwick. I know that this is something that is incredibly important to our students. And is not something that we take lightly either. We have a whole range of careers fairs that take place throughout the academic year here at the university. So I think there are 5 careers fairs that are run by the central careers team, but it might be that your academic department has its own dedicated careers team and they can help you with some of those connections as well. Certainly economics, WBS, which is the business school, Warwick Manufacturing Group, with some of the courses they offer. They are specialists and experts in their fields: supply chain logistics management, international strategy, trade and operations, applied artificial intelligence. All of these things are areas we have courses in, firstly and foremost. But in addition to that, we have business analytics with AI. We have business with marketing. There's financial technology. There's a whole range of different areas that we are giving you skills in to then be at the forefront of those new fields and those new sectors that are emerging in the next 3 to 4 years. We quite often do say to our students that we are preparing you for jobs that don't even exist yet. And that's because everything is changing so quickly, particularly with AI and that kind of developing field. We don't know what jobs they will be, but the skills that you will learn here at the university will be able to put you in touch with those employers that are looking for that field and in those particular sectors that you're looking for. These top global employers are hopefully some of the names that you will recognise. They're not just based in the UK. We do also have Connectworks globally. Connecting networks globally that you can connect with. So it's not just if you want to stay in the UK, we have those opportunities, but also if you'd like to return and have those opportunities in Bogota or Cali or whichever city, we have those opportunities there for you. It could be that you'd like to move to a different country entirely. We can help with that. And our careers team this summer have been running webinars throughout July and August for students to get in touch with so that they can see and know what those opportunities are. So engaging with the UK labour market, how to best prepare your CV before you even enroll on your course. These are things that we can offer you ahead of you enrolling at the university so that you're really ready for that year of study. and ready for that to come out at the other side as well. So lots of different people who are here to help you throughout that journey, and help nurture you through that process. Now, this is the application process for us here at Warwick. Now, these steps are relatively straightforward. The only thing to mention as I go through is that I can see it says tutoring. The dates, the steps are also exactly the same for Corpo Futuro. So if you are applying for tutoring, that's fine. If you're applying for Corpo Futuro as well, exactly the same things apply. So our first step and recommendation is to research the course that's most suited to you, an institution you will like. Hopefully that is Warwick, and you have found a course with us that you really like and you like the sound of, because of course that's why you're here today, and you're watching back. So that's number one, which is amazing. Then it is really important to note for step 2 that lots of UK universities do charge an application assessment fee per course. So if there are 2 courses that you're interested in with us here at Warwick, you will be charged twice. So it's one fee for each course. So please do be aware of that when you're considering your options. So if it's 2 with us at Warwick and then you've got an option at maybe 3 or 4 other universities, that's potentially 6 application fees that you're having to pay. So do bear that in mind when you're considering your options. If, however, you are looking to use Corpo Futuro as your funding option, at the moment there is no fee for students who are applying with Corpo Futuro. So do mention on your application to us at the university that you are applying for Corpo Futuro, and we will waive that application assessment fee. The fee is currently £75. So it's not a small fee, but do mention that to us when you're applying, and the admissions team will waive that requirement for you when you're submitting that application. Again, if you have any concerns at that stage, you can reach out to me and I can check that for you. But there are those areas where you can do that. The next thing, kind of while you're looking at that submission, is to gather the documents that you need for consideration. It is very straightforward in the UK, and lots of UK universities have this same process, so it's not too different depending on the university you're applying to. But the documents that we typically need are your academic documents, so a copy of your transcript which confirms your final grade, and your degree certificate, or your diploma. Both of those need to be in English and Spanish. So if your degree certificate is issued in Spanish, we will need an official translation into English for them to be considered. So that's 4 documents there straight away. So your English and Spanish versions of your transcripts and the English and Spanish for your certificate. We need 1 reference typically for most courses. Some courses may ask for 2, but it will tell you on that application form. If you have been out of academia or study for more than 2 years, you can mention an employer reference instead. That's okay. We know that you lose touch sometimes with your academics, so that's no problem at all. If you'd like to still name one, you can, but whoever you name, it can't be personal, a personal reference, and we do recommend that that students advise the person they're nominating as their referee before you name them. We've had some instances where people or the referees get in touch with us to say, I didn't agree to be nominated as a reference. That then leads to a whole issue for you in delaying your application. So do make sure you let them know politely that you'd like to name them as a reference, and I'm sure it will be fine. The final 2 documents that I recommend are your personal statement. So statement of purpose, why you want to study this course, why Warwick. We have this information available on our web pages under the postgraduate apply pages, so you can go to those websites, and I can share the link once I finish speaking if anybody is interested in receiving those links, and also a CV, just so we can see any relevant work experience that you may have as part of your application, and we can see what you've been doing in that field, because quite often we know that students may have studied in one area, but then you want to work in a completely different area, and this Masters will help you gain that knowledge in that area. And so our admissions teams like to see that you have relevant work experience in that field in order to help you with that specialism. So do always provide a CV. And the English language test. Now, we accept IELTS IELTS for UKVI, the academic version, Pearson for UKVI, TOEFL, IBT, CAE, CPE, taken within 2 years of your course start date. So if you're starting in October 2026, it can't have been taken any earlier than October 2024 in order to be eligible for the application. But really crucially, you don't need to upload that English test at the point of application. So if you would like to apply and then take your English test afterwards, that's absolutely fine. So you could apply in October or November, receive a decision from us, apply for Call Futuro with their deadline, and prepare for your English test separately. That's actually what we would recommend, just so you're not waiting on the English language test. If you have one that meets the requirements, that's great, provide it. But if you don't wait for it either. Do apply, and then you can provide your English language test afterwards as well. Always submit your application within good time to receive a decision. And we do know that for lots of the scholarships that students are applying for and being considered for, and Call Futuro is the same, you are of a greater benefit if you have an unconditional offer by the time you've applied for the scholarship or for the funding. So the earlier you apply to us, the sooner we can get you meeting those conditions. And for lots of you, because you'll have already graduated, we're not waiting for you to finish your course. So it's just a case of you providing those documents in a reasonable time. So the earlier you apply, the more time you have to provide those documents to us. So do bear that in mind with the different deadlines for your funding options, because it is a benefit, an advantage for you to have an unconditional offer when you are considering those scholarship deadlines. And then, hopefully you will have submitted your application. Hopefully you'll be successful and receive an offer. Lots of our Colombian students have fantastic experience and also grades. So we do have some excellent students. But yeah, you can then prepare your final documents and await your scholarship outcomes. So it is important, as I said, to get those documents in place. And to make sure that you've done that research ready for the course and that program. In case anybody's wondering, we aren't open for applications just yet, but we do typically open within the first week of October. So if anybody would like to get that early application in, those are the dates that you may need to consider for applying to us here at the university. That is me. For the timing that I have. Hopefully that is perfect timing. So we have 15 minutes. If anybody has any particular questions, just before I take my screen off, only in case some of the questions are private, that's no problem. But the QR code should take you to a form. If you would like to fill out the form, then you will receive updates from the University of Warwick. You can list your academic department. So it could be liberal arts, it could be politics, it could be the business school, it could be engineering, whichever area that you're in. List the course, the subject area you have an interest in, and you'll receive updates from us about those opportunities in those departments. Additionally, you will receive updates about when I am in country. So I am traveling to Bogota the 1st of September. So I will be in Colombia from the 1st to the 3rd of September. So if anybody would like an appointment or would like to come and see me at the QS fair, then please do. You're welcome to come and say hi, find out a little bit more. Happy to have a chat there. You can fill the form in. You can book appointments with me virtually there. I have virtual appointments on our Colombia specific information page, so you can book into my diary. It takes you straight to my diary, so you can see my available dates. So yeah, please do let me know if you would like to stay in touch. I will stop sharing. And if anybody has any questions, then I am more than happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Rachel, thank you to you to this amazing presentation and grateful information. So yes, we have some questions for you. The first one is, what is the minimum Colombian undergraduate GPA required to be admitted to a master program at Warwick?
Okay. So what we have at the university are some departments may ask for things on a slightly different scale. But I will try and explain the scale and also what that means for the different courses. So here in the UK, we have what we call a lower second class honours or a 2-2, or an upper second class honours, which is a 2-1 or a first. Now, on the Colombian scale, I think it's 4.2 out of 5 is a 2-1 equivalent. But what I'm just, oh, my internet's frozen, I'm very sorry. What I'm just about to do is try and open our Columbia specific pages so that you can take yourselves directly there, and you can have a look at those equivalencies. But I believe it's 4.2 from a 4-year program.
Okay, perfect. Beyond GPA, what can I do to build a highly competitive profile?
So I think for the most part, it's showing that interest in your area of study. So it's wanting to know that you have the engagement in that area of study that you would like to go into. Quite often so we've had students who've gone into digital media and culture with us here at Warwick. Some have gone on to do sociology, some have gone engineering. Most go into our business school and also Warwick Manufacturing Group. That is the excellence that they offer, but it is also the strength of the students that are applying, and quite often it's either the qualification that you have, so you meet the entry requirements and you have those grades that are really specific. So certainly for our finance and our mathematical finance, they are highly selective courses. So they need that first. But then in the second instance, they look for your interest in that area. And also, I think also crucially is how you will use that degree to help your progression and your career path moving forward. What is it about Warwick that excites you, that interests you, that makes you want to be part of that community to then make a difference once you've graduated? So how will we help you? I think is quite often what our departments are looking for, and something that quite often the majority of times our Colombian students have no problem with doing, but that's the sort of thing that they're looking for. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And the last question from Santiago is, if I graduate in September 2025, what documents or procedures can I start working on in advance?
For September 2025, sorry.
Yeah, September 2025.
Okay. For September 25, it's quite close. So it does depend on how long you have everything ready. Only because we're only around 6 weeks from the course start date. So that you may not be here in time, but in general, I would say the biggest ones are your academic documents and their translations, your English test. The main 3 things are those 2 and your reference. Those are the 3 essentials that we need. So if you are still looking at applying, then yeah, those are the things that we're looking for, and your personal statement. I would say those are the ones you need now.
Okay. And the last question that we have is, it's important to apply with English test, or maybe it's possible download after?
You can upload after. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so if somebody is applying for next September, you have lots of time to take the test. So if you haven't taken a test for a year, 2 years, maybe more, but you'd like, or you know you need a new one, but you need time to practice or kind of have a look at some practice papers, things like that, you can certainly apply to us at the university without that test. There's a section on there for an IELTS, but you don't have to fill it in. It's not mandatory, or a TOEFL, whichever test you have. But you can, so if you apply in October, you can then take the test in February or March. That's no problem at all. The test results are released now faster than ever. So we do tend to see that once students have booked an exam and taken that test, we get the results really quickly. We can verify them really quickly. And so that's an relatively easy thing to pass your condition for once we know that you're taking it. So yeah, concentrate on your academic application first, and then you can book your English, because also what we'd like is that obviously for you to know that you have got a place, and to know what our English requirements are for that place. So yeah, you can do that early and then you can work towards your your English language test.
Perfect, Rachel. Well, so we don't have any more questions for you. So thank you so much for this presentation and information.
Thank you.
I only hope to see you in the next opportunity.
Yes, I'll be there very soon. So yeah, if just one thing, sorry. So I have shared in the chat for anybody who's still here at Edu requirements. It's a 4.0, sorry. So for what we call a 2-1 or an upper second class honours, it's a 4.0. Some may ask for a 4.2, but those are the grades that we typically look for. And I will also just share, in case anybody would like to make an appointment, just a link to the chat with us pages. So yeah, you can reach me there.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel. Y a todas las personas que se unieron, también muchas gracias por su participación y su interés. Los esperamos en este tipo de sesiones que tendremos con otras universidades. Hasta luego y feliz día. Bye, Rachel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye.